What if the one thing you were told to trust your entire life, your heart, has been quietly sabotaging you? Not your enemies, not bad luck, not your circumstances, your own emotions. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share isn't about becoming cold or robotic. It's about something far more powerful, becoming the one person in any room who can think when everyone else reacts. That ability, it's worth more than talent, more than connections, more than luck, and most people will never learn it. Here's something neuroscience confirms the Stoics already knew thousands of years ago. When you experience intense emotion, anger, fear, panic, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, strategy, and long-term thinking, goes offline completely. You don't become less rational. You become irrational by design. In that state, you're not making decisions, you're making reactions, and reactions have a cost. Think about your biggest regrets. The text you wish you hadn't sent. The argument you escalated when you should have walked away. The opportunity you passed on because fear felt like wisdom. What do they all share? Emotion was in the driver's seat, and you were just along for the ride. Seneca put it plainly. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Your mind amplifies, it catastrophizes. It turns a difficult conversation into a catastrophe and a temporary setback into proof of permanent failure. And while you're spiraling, life keeps moving. Now here's where most people misunderstand this idea. Emotional detachment is not about feeling nothing. It's not about suppressing who you are or becoming some emotionless machine. It's about this. You are not your emotions. You are the one watching them. Think of your feelings like weather. A storm doesn't define the sky. It passes through it. The sky stays. You are the sky. Your emotions are real. They carry information. Fear tells you something feels dangerous. Anger tells you a boundary was crossed. Sadness signals loss. These are useful signals. The problem isn't that you feel them. The problem is when you obey them without question, when you let a signal become a command. Epictetus said it best. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. That gap between what happens and how you respond is where your entire life is decided. Most people have no gap. Something happens, they react instantly, automatically. But the people who operate at the highest level, they've learned to live in that gap. Here's something your school never taught you. Your brain is running ancient software on a modern problem. Evolution built you to survive, to react fast to threats. That fight-or-flight response saved your ancestors from predators. It was brilliant for the savannah. But you're not on the savannah. You're in a meeting. You're in a relationship. You're building a career. And your brain is still firing off survival alerts like your life depends on it. When really, it's just a difficult email. That fear, hardwired into you, it's not protecting you anymore. It's holding you back from hard conversations, bold decisions, and the risks that would actually change your life. The realization that sets everything in motion is this simple. Your emotions are not facts, they are signals, and signals can be observed without being followed. So how do you actually build this skill? Because this isn't a switch you flip. It's a muscle you train. Step 1. Create the pause. The moment you feel a strong emotion rising, don't act, don't speak, don't type. Give yourself 10 seconds. In that 10 seconds, ask one question. Am I about to respond or react? That question alone will save you from more damage than you can imagine. Step 2. Name the emotion without becoming it. Instead of, I am angry, try I notice anger. It sounds subtle, the effect is massive. You shift from being inside the emotion to observing it from the outside. Suddenly it has less power over you. Step 3. Ask what's behind it. Every strong emotion has a root, usually fear or unmet expectation. Once you identify the root, you stop fighting the symptom and start understanding the signal. Step 4. Choose your response deliberately. not what feels right, not what feels satisfying, what serves your actual goal. This is the practice, not perfect, not permanent. A daily conscious choice to act from your values, not your impulses. Carl Jung said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." Mastering your emotions is part of that. It means looking at every feeling, even the ugly ones, without flinching and choosing not to let them drive. Imagine what life looks like when you've built this. Someone disrespects you, you don't take the bait. You respond with calm authority, and they lose power over you immediately. A project fails, you don't spiral, you assess, adapt, and move. Fear shows up before a big decision. You acknowledge it, and you move forward anyway. Because you've learned that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in spite of it. This is the shift from being reactive to being deliberate. It's the shift from hoping things will go your way to creating the way they go. And here's the paradox that will change how you see all of this. The less your emotions control you, the more deeply you can feel them. Because you're no longer afraid of them, you're no longer running from them or drowning in them. You can sit with the full weight of an emotion, understand it, and let it pass. That's not coldness, that's freedom. Think of a pilot navigating a storm. The instruments are going haywire, the alarms are screaming. An amateur panics, overcorrects, and crashes. The master pilot stays calm, trusts the instruments, keeps eyes on the horizon, and lands the plane. You are the pilot. Your emotions are the noise, and the horizon, your values, your vision, your long-term goals. That's what keeps you on course. The Stoics didn't preach detachment because they were heartless. They preached it because they knew the truth most people spend a lifetime avoiding. True power is quiet. True power is steady, and it belongs to the person who can remain calm while the world around them loses control. That person can be you. Start with the pause, build the practice, and commit to the journey. If this way of thinking speaks to you, subscribe, not just for more content, but to be part of a community that chooses discipline over impulse and clarity over chaos. The next video is already waiting for you on screen.